Well, hello there. I've been fairly absent from making booktube videos, but I would like to get back into the swing of things. And we are into July now, which means we are halfway through the year, which means it is time for me to do my mid-year checkup on my goals. I do this every year. I just like to look at my reading goals and remind myself of what they were, because in some instances I completely forgot some of the goals that I made, and just see how well I'm doing if I'm like halfway along to all of these goals. Don't really think that's the case with most of these, but let's talk about them and maybe re-center myself, refocus myself, and see if I actually can accomplish these goals by the end of the year. But let's see what they are, see where I'm at, see what I can do from here. So the first goal that I have every year is to read 100 books. And I actually think that I am on track for this goal. So not a bad start. I'm filming this on July 9th, and I already have read 5 books during the month of July, so I'm not including those because the halfway point of the year is the very end of June. Yeah, by the end of June, I'd read 56 books, so it's not like I'm absolutely demolishing this goal, but I am on track, and I'm a little bit ahead. Yeah, 56 is a little bit over the halfway point, so I was sitting very comfortably at the midpoint way of the year. And so far, July is shaping up to be a really great reading month for me, so I expect to be even further along with this goal by the end of this month, and it should be smooth sailing to the end of the year. Fingers crossed. So that one is looking like it's going to be a go. My next reading goal that I have on my list here is Project Prince. I vowed to myself that I would have read 1/2 of all of the Prince books by the end of 2020. This was a very large undertaking, and I'm not on track for this. I have the whole list of the Prince Award in my notebook here, and I've crossed them out as I've gone along. I had a little note that in 2019 I had read 22 of the 94 books, and now in 2020, at the halfway point of the year, I've read 29 of the 94 books. So I read 7 Prince books so far this year. Well, I think one of them was a DNF. I read I think over the halfway point, and then I ended up DNFing it, which sucks. But I'm going to count that as read because there's nothing else that I can do with it, and I've already DNF'd it. So I've read or DNF'd 7 Prince books. That's not like a ton, but it's a few. It's definitely not putting me on track to have read half of the Prince books by the end of this year. Let me do some math here. So 47 is going to be the halfway point to reading all the Prince books. So in order to hit 47 Prince Award books read by the end of the year, I'm going to have to read 18 more. So I read 7 in the first half of 2020. Am I going to read 18 in the second half of 2020? I don't think so. So I don't think this goal is going to happen, but I would like to continue to still keep picking up Prince books when I have the opportunity to do so and when I'm in the mood to do so. I don't want to completely give up on this goal because this was like a very narrow focused project that is part of my long-term goal to have read every single Prince book there is. I was really excited about all the Prince books last year. I thought that I would be able to get half of them done by the end of this year, and that's just not happening. But I'm still going to keep going. We'll see how much progress I can make by the end of the year. And I mean, I do still want to read all of the Prince books. Eventually, I'd like to get 100% of them. So this is ongoing. I just don't think I'm going to be reading them at the rate that I told myself I would. Ugh. My next goal is a little bit of a weird one. I have unhaul the same number of books that you haul. So far in 2020, I technically haven't hauled anything on this channel. I have purchased some books that I am saving up, and I would like to do a haul video at some point and share with you the books that I've acquired in 2020. It's not very many. I think as of right now, I've maybe bought 10 or fewer books throughout the entire year, so it's not a lot. I haven't gone through any of my books to unhaul anything. Maybe when I finally sit down and do a haul video for you guys and share the books that I've purchased in 2020, I will also go through my shelves and unhaul that same number of books. I'm not totally sure, but as of right now, I'm not super worried about this goal because I'm just really, like, I'm really not buying books right now because I can't go to bookstores. I'm not really at a place in my life right now where I even purchase a lot of books. So honestly, I don't think that I even want to have this goal again in the future because I just don't think I'm at a place where I need to worry about my hauling and unhauling. Like, I'm happy with all the books that I own for the most part. I don't feel like I have a ton of books on my shelves that I really feel like are dead weight that I want to get rid of. I don't purchase books very often. When I do end up doing like a book haul for 2020, I probably will go through my shelves and see if there's stuff that I want to get rid of in order to maintain this goal for the sake of maintaining it. But this one really isn't like a big deal that I've had to think about at all this year. My next goal is actually one that I have already completed, and it is to do a 1-month library ban. For those of you who remember, in the month of February this year, I had the wild ride of banning myself from using my online digital library and only reading physical books that I owned. I read 3 books, I think, in the entire month, so it didn't go great, but it was a worthwhile experiment for me because it's something that I had been talking about doing for a long time, and I'm glad that I just pushed myself to do it. So it happened, I did it. I don't think it was super successful in a lot of ways, but I accomplished it, and it did teach me some things about my reading habits, and now I have that experience under my belt and I finished this goal. So yay, completed goal. The next goal on my list is not good. This I have not done at all. And this was the goal of mine to read 8 books published in the 1800s. And I can tell you right now, I have not read a single book published in the 1800s. None. Can I read 8 books published in the 1800s by the end of 2020? I mean, I absolutely can, because I will likely read 50 plus more books by the end of the year. But do I really think that like a fifth of the books that I read for the rest of the year are gonna be like old classics? Probably not. I might try. You know what? I will try to do this. I just don't believe in myself, to be totally honest with you. But I'll try. I will try. I'll try. The only thing I can say that is like, I kind of have completed this goal in a sense. I haven't. But the only thing I can say to like soften the blow a little bit is that I have been reading more historical fiction that takes place in the 1800s this year than I ever have before. I don't know why that is, but I've read at least 5 books that take place in the 1800s so far in 2020, and I never read historical fiction, and usually when I read historical fiction, it's going to be like in the earlier half of the 20th century. So at least I got that going for me. Maybe having read more historical fiction that takes place during this time, like I should be able to pick up books published in this time, like maybe a little bit easier. I don't know if that's true, but at least I'm broadening my reading in that sense. You know what? It's a very small thing, but it's the only thing I've got. So that's what we're going with. Moving on. My next goal, I think I am on track for. My next goal is to reread at least 20 books. For the first half of the year, I had 12 rereads, so that is just over the halfway point to making my way to 20. So I'm on track and a little bit ahead for this goal. So I feel good about it. I've really been enjoying the books that I've been rereading, and I definitely want to continue with this one. I feel good about it. I think I can do it. I don't think that there should be any problems with this one. Let's hope. My next goal is to complete 3 Goodreads reviews for books that were sent to me for review. And I don't think I have not done this at all. It has totally not been on my mind. This is another goal that I have on my goals list every single year, and I just never quite succeed at it. And I'm starting to think maybe I should just not even try anymore. It's not that I don't want to try, because I do want to complete books that were sent to me for review and then review them. But it's just that almost all of them were sent to me so long ago that it's just it's not on the forefront anymore, and I no longer request books for review anymore because I know that it's just like not a super great system for me, and I don't follow through a lot of the time. Will I complete this? I mean, maybe, but I don't really think I will. I just feel like I just don't care about it as much anymore. My next goal is one that pains me to say that I have not been completing it. It is to caption all my videos. A very select amount of them I did manage to caption before I posted them, and I think that now that I've taken kind of a break from BookTube and I'm coming back to it, and I'm going to be posting videos a little bit more regularly but a little bit more slowly because I'm not doing like a daily video project anymore. I hope that the videos that I have for the rest of the year will all be captioned when they're uploaded, but I did a video every single day for the month of February, and I for sure was not captioning those. I was basically just scrambling to get them all done. It is a privilege to be able to say like, oh, I didn't have time for it. I have to just admit that failingly, yes, I take advantage of the fact that I can ignore captions for the time being and I can just post a video without them. And for me, it's not a big deal. But I know that that's not fair, and I should just include captions as part of the like mandatory steps to making a video. I don't know, it's taking me a lot longer to get used to that than I expected it would. So I have been going back and adding captions to videos that I posted in 2020, but not all of them are done. In fact, I have been slacking on that as well lately, so I really need to get back into the groove of doing that. I do want all of my videos that I posted in 2020 to have captions by the end of the year. I really do want to have them as part of the video when it gets published going forward from this point. Please yell at me if I post this video and there's no captions on it. Like, what is wrong with me if I do that? So yeah, that one is in progress and just like not doing super great on, but I do hope to continue with that one, and I really hope that I manage to semi-complete it. Obviously, it's like already, like I didn't 100% succeed at this because captioning a video that I posted like 3 months ago is just not ideal. My next goal was to participate in a daily long form video project. So as I think you should have already been able to gather, I did complete this goal already because I posted a video every day in the month of February. I did it. I'm so glad I did it in February and I got it done at the beginning of the year, because if I had not done daily videos in February, I don't think it would have happened for the rest of 2020. It absolutely would not have happened for any other month this year. So yeah, it was very lucky for me that I just decided to do it right away at the beginning of the year, because my like mental ability to focus on BookTube has absolutely dissolved for most of this year. So I did that goal. I'm happy I did it. It was good. So that is a check. Success. And then the final goal that I have on my list is to do 1 scheduled hour of BookTube every week. And I was really excited about this at the beginning of the year, and it was actually working out for me pretty well at the beginning of the year. I had scheduled, I think, like Friday afternoons. I put it in my calendar. I gave myself my phone gave me a notification just to work on BookTube related activities for 1 hour. I still get the notifications on my phone every week, but I generally don't do it. As I have just said, this entire year has just been a lot, and I have not been focused on BookTube. I have not been focused on reading half the time. So yeah, I stopped doing this. I was doing it at the beginning of the year fairly consistently, but it fell away. But you know, new half of the year, new me. I don't know. I don't really see any reason that I should just not do this anymore at all just because I fell off the bandwagon for so long. Like I could bring it back. I do think that this was a good idea of mine, and I do think it was a helpful way for me to work on this channel, but this year's just been I don't know, it's just been tough. So I'm gonna have to go with a failure on that. I definitely have not been following through with my scheduled 1 hour per week BookTube work sessions. It just hasn't really been happening. But yeah, it's a great note to end this video on. But that's it. Those are all my goals for 2020. Not as horrible as I thought. Like I've completed 2 of them, and I am on track for 3 more of them. I don't think those 3 should be a problem, but there are 5 of them that I just don't think are working out at all. So that's looking to be about a 50-50 success and fail rate for my goals. I honestly don't even know how that's going to stack up against all my reading goals from the past few years, because I tend to not complete a lot of my goals every year. But that's where I'm sitting right now. We'll talk about it again at the end of the year, and maybe things will work out better than I anticipate. You never know. I will see you guys pretty soon, I think, actually. So I'm back. Maybe. I think we'll be a little bit more of a regular schedule for the rest of the year, is what I'm hoping. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.